Well, it's the morning of day 9. We're getting ready to get going. It's around 7:10. It's about 35 degrees outside, but I thought I'd give a quick scan of what the outside above the hostel around the bend, hostel around the bend's place looks like. I know it's dark. I was going to do it last night, but I got running late doing everything else. But let's take a quick look. We got the outfitter in the shed here, in the main lodge building here where everybody's eating breakfast currently. And then there's another bunkhouse on the end of the building here for people to sleep in. Over there is a couple private rooms off to the left, and off to the right behind the van that you can't see is the bunk room I slept in. We have a little, I guess, a party area gathering. Have bonfires up here on top of the hill, a couple hammocks for you to stay in. Over there are private rooms that sleep 2 people each. There's 3 of them. They're basically an 8x10 shed with beds in it. Turns out nice. Sun's starting to come up. But as I said, it is the start of day 9. Be headed to the trail here in the next 20 minutes or so, and then start out a 12-mile day headed to Muskrat Creek Shelter. We'll see if we got some views along the way. It's supposed to be a really nice day once it starts to warm up around 11. See y'all. Okay, back on the move this morning. Already gone up 600 feet in elevation already since leaving the hostel about 20 minutes ago. But the trail is going to take us up above 4,000 feet today. Again. But this is what I'm currently looking at. The sun's coming up. Needs to come up a little bit faster. My fingertips are a little cold. Like I said earlier, it's supposed to get about 65 to 70 degrees today. It's currently about 36. So that's where I'm headed, down this path here, up around the corner, all the way up there. I'm going to shoot above 4,000 feet again today, probably closer to 4,300, but it should be a good day. Let's get going. Still have 11 miles to go. Well, the morning's turning out. Excuse me. The morning's turning out to be pretty nice. And that the sun's coming up, starting to get warmer. Trail's dry for a change. Right there is where I'm headed. It's about 4,300 feet. And I'll be camping somewhere over there on that ridge today. So, need to keep going. And we'll keep marching. I'll get more pictures, but this was really, really nice with this sunrise. Let's see if I can do this for a couple seconds without falling and busting my tail by not using my stick trekking poles walking downhill. This is kind of what I'm walking through today. Currently I'm on a mission to dive from 3,600 feet down to 2,700 feet to climb back up to 4,300 feet, which doesn't sound appealing at all. But I'm about 4.5 miles into my trek today. Puts me, a little under 8 miles, 7.5 miles away from where I'm headed. Which is probably another 4 hours or so, which ain't bad, based on if I decide to take a break or not. I'm definitely seem to be the first one out because I'm silk blazing. I mean, I'm clearing the trail of all the spider webs for everybody else. So here we go. This is where I was headed. I'm not going to finish today, but this is Bull Gap, which is where I start my climb back up the mountain that they just brought me back down. Okay, let me continue on and see what I got coming.
getting to Bly Gap, which puts me at 9-mile marker. But there is something even better coming up here in a second. So let me turn this camera around off me and happily and beautifully say I am crossing out of Georgia into North Carolina. I am standing in North Carolina. Somebody took the other new sign they put up, but this is the North Carolina-Georgia border. Oh, finally made it. Yes. Sorry, shit. This first small video of the North Carolina side of the AT that I'm now on. Standing on Bly Gap campsite, and this is what you'd see. And I'm guessing I'm headed up there, so we'll see. But I made it to North Carolina. Happy, happy, happy. Well, started day 11. I'm about 2 miles in already, and so I figured I'd introduce the new day. Got 12.5 miles to go again to a place called Carter Gap Shelter, and that's where I'll spend the night again till tomorrow. But I decided to stop at this crossroad because this was an interesting sign. But as you can see, the sun is coming up over the mountains. I do get to climb another 5,000 foot mountain today, Standing Indian Mountain in North Carolina. So we need to chug along. In about 4 miles I should be at the top, because the top is at 6, and then it should be downhill from there with any luck. More later as the views come up out. Now this is my trail currently. We're kind of bouldering all the way around to there. As I'm standing on this boulder, I mean, do have a decent sunrise. The sunrise is up. Sun is up anyways. It's shining down in the valley, but as usual, no real clear view with all the trees in the way. But let me get back to my pathway to Katahdin. Well, made it top to Standing Indian Mountain. The previous view that I showed in the video was a better view than the outlook at the top, so I didn't even bother. But now, headed to my final destination, which is 6.5 miles of trail. It's basically all downhill, which should be fun on my knees. But today's been fun. Took me 2 hours and 45 minutes, travel 6.5 miles and climb 1,500 feet, which was pretty good. I'm gonna fall and bust my noggin on these rocks. But it's been a good day so far. Temperature is beautiful, about 44 degrees, small breeze, nice and comfortable. So I'll do some more later. Well, I'm about 2 miles from my destination, but came across all these. Not 100% sure they're just lining the trail. It's kind of cool. But as you can see, trails are nothing but roots right here either. But it's kind of cool. The whole side of the trail is covered in red leaves. Not sure what they are, like I said, but kind of cool. Well, made it to my campsite probably 3 hours ago. So just finishing setting up my tent area. Starting to cook some food. Tent all set up. Got my food down here cooking. Guess I'm gonna have a couple ramen. With some premium chicken in it. Get it doing. And when I was in town this last time, I grabbed some bacon bits to add a little flavor and maybe some more calories to it. See if that'll help with eating. So, but I'll maybe do some more later. Well, good morning. It's day 11. I started out in the dark, as you can tell with my headlamp on, my hand in the way. But I got to this overlook and the view is amazing with the sun coming up. So I figured I'd stop, make my morning introduction and stuff. It's about 42 degrees already. It's supposed to get up to about 60. I'm a mile into my 12.5 mile day already. But here, let's take a look. Beautiful, beautiful. Got all the planes out in the background already, if you can see their light lines. But trail hasn't been too bad this morning. I have an 1,800 foot elevation gain at some point today. About halfway in, I believe, like yesterday. And then it's downhill to camp. And then a short day into winding stair gap tomorrow of about 4 miles. But I'll talk more about that later. Well, good morning, everybody, on day 11. Can't say I'm upset about them last 2 views. Been wanting views for ever since we got started. The weather's finally been nice enough, and North Carolina put in a couple of spots, which is pretty good. The trail's been fairly clean. Hiking pretty quick, actually. So, see how things go. But here's, looks like I'm getting ready to climb up some hills. So, keep from falling, busting my nose and breaking my phone. I'm gonna put you away. Well, made it to the shelter today, and that, as I was getting down here, there was a sign posted that if I went to the gap itself, there was hot dogs and stuff. So I walked the extra 2/10 of a mile and grabbed a hot dog. And as much as I despise Coke, that thing was cold and it was delicious. So I ended up having a Coke and a couple of hot dogs and walked back to the shelter here. So this is where I'll be spending the rest of the night. As of right now, there is no cell phone signal like the other gaps, but that's okay. But let me show you this one. The blue blazes led us down here. You have a fire pit. And the shelter itself is only a year old. Evidently last year at one point, a tree fell on the old one. So this one was just built recently. Holds 8 people. Come in. Got a nice rock base in it. Benches, shelves to cook on. Some little decorations from the local kids and stuff about the different type of animals and what's going on. 3rd graders. Kind of cool. Then you have up here these things here are hooks to hang your packs on. And the little covers up on top are to keep the mice from working their way around and coming down the string and getting into your pack. Just sleep on the floor here. And over here is the box to register that you were here. And then the shelters leave no trace information. If you can look way over there, see if I can zoom in. There's the privy where everybody can do their business in. So, but that'll be it for tonight. There are some campsites up here. There's 6 or 7 of them. A couple hammockers coming in. So it's still early. It's only 2:20. I got here around noon. So it only took me 5.5 hours to actually make it to the shelter. And that from where we were at Carter Gap, it only took 5 hours and 20 minutes for me to hike the 12.5 miles. So I'm getting my leg strength, but going uphill is still a pain, but that's okay. It'll come. I'm learning to come downhill. So let's see how we do. Until later.